Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Welcome to the rabbit hole. It is not a fantasy. It is the world seen without the illusions. The splinter in your mind, the feeling that something is wrong, is not a symptom of being broken. It is the consequence of seeing clearly for the first time. And it leads to the question that remains after the programmer and the self have been deconstructed. What is the purpose of this freedom in a universe without a script? Do not look away from this feeling, this vertigo, this anxiety. Most will do anything to escape it. They will trade this hard-won clarity for a new cage, a new ideology, a new guru, a new authority handed down from a new authority. But you are not most people. The investigation that brought you here was not for the comfortable. It was for the courageous. You have been raised in a world that sells pre-packaged meaning. A world that tells you that your purpose is a destination to be found. This is the final deception. The anxiety you feel is not caused by a lack of meaning. It is caused by your powerful attachment to the belief that you were meant to have one. An attachment to the ghost of an idea that God created you for a purpose. This attachment is the final cage, and in this investigation, we will dismantle it. This desperation for a pre-packaged meaning creates a marketplace. And in that marketplace, there are the purpose merchants. The gurus, the ideologues, the corporations, and the religions who are all too happy to sell you a pre-built cage and call it a castle. They do not sell you meaning. They sell you the illusion of certainty, and the price is your intellectual freedom. Their business model is built on selling false exits from the void. The most seductive is nihilism. It feels like a courageous final truth, but it is in fact the laziest and most arrogant of all cages. It is the dogma of giving up. It mistakes the absence of a pre-written script for the absence of all possible value, and in doing so, it absolves itself of all responsibility. The twin cage to nihilism is simple hedonism, the belief that the only rational goal is the pursuit of pleasure. But this too is a trap. It makes you a slave to your own appetites, mistaking distraction for fulfillment. The merchants sell these cages by exploiting two ancient human needs. First, the psychological need for a boss. Terror management theory suggests we are fundamentally terrified of our own chaotic, finite existence. A preordained purpose is the ultimate defense mechanism against this terror. Second, the sociological need to blame. The just world hypothesis shows our deep need to believe that people get what they deserve. The purpose merchants sell this illusion because it is the bedrock of their power structures. It justifies inequality. It sanctifies judgment. Their product is an illusion. Their system is a cage. And the first step of the exodus is to stop buying what they are selling. This path was carved by history's most resilient thinkers who dared to build a fortress of meaning after Friedrich Nietzsche declared the death of the old gods. Two great schools of thought emerged from this challenge. First, the Stoics. The Stoics were determinists. They accepted that the universe is an unbroken chain of cause and effect, a script already written. But instead of despair, they located human freedom in the one place the external world could not touch, our own judgment. You cannot control the events that happen to you, but you have absolute power over the story you tell yourself about those events. Freedom for the Stoic is not changing the world, it is the unbreakable inner power to refuse to be broken by it. While the Stoics built an internal fortress, the existentialists provided the tools for external creation. This is not academic theory. This is the operating manual for a free mind. It is the code that allows you to stop being an actor in someone else's script and become the author of your own. The philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre declared that existence precedes essence. You are not a tool built with a predefined function. You are thrown into existence first, and it is only through your actions that you create your own essence. You are, as he famously said, condemned to be free. Condemned because you cannot escape the absolute responsibility of creating your own meaning in every moment. Then, the writer Albert Camus gave us the hero for this new world, the absurd hero. He pointed to the myth of Sisyphus, a man condemned to forever push a boulder up a mountain, only to watch it roll back down. Camus argues that the moment Sisyphus becomes conscious of his fate, he is free. By finding meaning not in reaching the top, but in the conscious, rebellious act of pushing the boulder itself, he transcends his punishment. Camus' final declaration is the ultimate statement of liberation. We must imagine Sisyphus happy. This is the final reframe, the exodus from the search for meaning. Purpose is not a noun to be found, it is a verb to be done. The old systems gave you a treasure map, promising a single golden city of El Dorado. But the map was a lie, and the city was never there. The liberation is in realizing you are not a treasure hunter. You are the cartographer. Your job is not to find a pre-drawn destination. Your job is to explore the vast, uncharted territory of your own existence and to draw the map yourself. And how does the cartographer draw their map? By using the tool you were given in the last investigation, meta-awareness. This is not a mystical concept. It is a trainable neurological skill proven to strengthen the parts of the brain responsible for conscious navigation while calming the chatter of the ego. By observing the world without judgment, by understanding the chains of cause and effect, by acting with compassion and creativity, you create pockets of meaning in a universe that has none to offer. You bring order to a small patch of chaos. You are the source. The meaning is not in the destination. The meaning is in the courageous, creative, and compassionate act of mapping the world one moment at a time. And so, our investigation comes to a close. Why this investigation? Why a three-part deconstruction of a single idea? Because the myth of the free-willed self is not a standalone error. It is the keystone in the arch of the Creator's deception. It is the central mechanism of control in a system that runs on sin and judgment. But the illusion is bigger than that. It is the engine of our own suffering. The belief in a sovereign self is what fuels the fires of pride, the poison of shame, the paralysis of regret, and the entire brutal logic of vengeance. It is the ghost that whispers to us that people deserve to suffer. For the first time, there is no one watching from the wings. The great eye in the sky has closed. The celestial audience has gone home. To dismantle this illusion is not an academic game. It is a necessary step in the exodus from a world of blame to a world of understanding, from retribution to compassion. The goal was never just to leave you in a void. The goal was to provide the tools for a more conscious humanity, to show you that by letting go of the burden of a control you never had, you can finally become the cartographer of a life that is truly and freely your own.